Feminist Spatial Practices is a participatory project that highlights and supports feminist practices in art, design, architecture, and activism. It's about the diverse ways that creators work towards intersectional gender equity in the built environment.
We are crowdfunding to help us create a platform for making, sharing, radicalizing, and caring within our community. We're building an educational online platform that visualizes and indexes global feminist practices. And we're also planning a series of virtual and in-person events celebrating the diverse community of feminist practitioners.
All these expanded ways of knowing and making in the built environment, ways that are collaborative, equitable, and sustainable for the practitioners themselves, their communities, and their environments.
And so we launched an open call for participation in building this new global platform. And now we're collaborating with folks all over the world. We're so excited that you're joining us on this journey.
We're already growing a community across geographies and disciplines that shares knowledge and builds solidarity and support.
We're trying to translate some of the ethos of feminist spatial practices, of less hierarchy, more multiplicity of practice and doing, more messy interdependency and more situated perspective, softness, subversion.
We get to have these conversations that transcend borders and time and enhance the impact of these interactions. I am really looking forward to see how we integrate millions of voices and ideas into this collective, expand, bring out these thought processes.
I felt a lot of empowerment by the diverse, soft projects that are shared within this community. And I'm very much looking forward to developing a lot of program which focuses on the exchange between our ideas.
We have been working with a lot of everyday histories, a lot of micro histories, and making them mainstream, engaging the communities, making it more inclusive through their voices and their participation.
A big part of this project is bringing visibility to the many, many feminist practices around the world that are often marginalized in their context. We started with 500 entries on global feminist practices, and a collaborative group of practitioners and scholars are now further researching and expanding this list for the digital platform. These entries will appear both in an interactive visualization and as a searchable index.
A really wonderful initiative and opportunity to craft out a space to really mobilize architecture, spatial, materialist agency, as well as feminist reflections.
Creative practices working toward gender equity are often isolated in their own contexts. This work not only builds solidarity among practices, but also challenges systemic conditions.
We can translate some of the findings of the research that we're doing into actionable change. Not only understand theoretical concepts about feminism, but to implement material benefits and participate in social transformation.
Reframing the notion of feminist work in design and creative practice, and connecting the individuals and studios that are engaged in it around the world. Feminist Spatial Practices aims to celebrate the multiplicity of feminisms that exist under the umbrella of spatial practice.
The web platform will be both an educational resource and an entry point to joining the community. This platform will be really unique because it will have a dynamic, interactive visualization that will enable people to access the content both visually and textually. It's an experimental new media design that we're developing with graphic designers Omnivore.
Website here doesn't exactly feel like the right word because the project to me is like a place of gathering, sharing, taking stock, collaborating, of exchanging standpoints and perspectives.
Feminist Spatial Practices needs your help. We are now crowdfunding to help build this web platform as a resource, as well as expanding the research and hosting a collective events. Supporting our team and the cost for these efforts will help us reach our goals.
I thank you for your attention and thank you for your consideration.